Welcome to Viral, the show that brings you stories that everyone's talking about. I'm your host, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on Viral. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Viral here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe if you can. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Here on Viral, tonight we dive into one of the biggest stories in basketball. The NBA world is buzzing after reports that superstar Giannis has been traded from the Milwaukee Bucks to the Miami Heat in a blockbuster deal that completely reshapes the Eastern Conference. Is Miami now the team to beat, or did Milwaukee get enough in return? And what are fans saying about this shocking move? Let's get into it. According to reports, the Miami Heat has acquired Giannis, a veteran for Bobby Portis. In exchange, Milwaukee will receive a massive package including Tyler Hero, Jamie Jaquil Jr., Kel Warner, and draft picks and future assets. For the Heat, this is the superstar move they've been chasing for years. Giannis leaves Milwaukee after an incredible run that includes 2 MVP awards, a Finals MVP, and leading the franchise to an NBA championship. Many basketball analysts believe the Bucks were facing difficult realities, injuries, an aging roster, and limited flexibility made it hard to compete for championships in the years ahead. Meanwhile, Miami saw an opportunity to land one of the biggest players in the world. The result that instantly changed the outlook on both franchises. Let's hear what our very own Bob Evans have to say about Giannis transferring over from Milwaukee to Miami.
All right, let's talk about the biggest shockwave in the NBA right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo is heading to the Miami Heat. Milwaukee is officially moving on from its franchise cornerstone after 13 seasons, a championship in 2021, and multiple MVP runs. But the recent injuries, early playoff exits, and front office pressure finally forced the Bucks to reset. In return, Milwaukee is getting a massive haul. Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Kasparas Jakučionis, plus multiple first-round picks, including the 13th overall selection in the 2026 draft. This is a full-on rebuild package. For Miami, this is a win-now power move. You pair Giannis with Bam Adebayo, and suddenly the Heat jump straight into title contender territory. That defense, that physicality, that transition game, it changes everything in the Eastern Conference. But let's be real. This also puts pressure on Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. Depth takes a hit, and now it's about maximizing a short championship window. All right, let's talk about the biggest shockwave in the NBA right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo is heading to the Miami Heat. Milwaukee is officially moving on from its franchise cornerstone after 13 seasons, a championship in 2021, and multiple MVP runs. But the recent injuries, early playoff exits, and front office pressure finally forced the Bucks to reset. In return, Milwaukee is getting a massive haul. Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Kasparas Jakučionis, plus multiple first-round picks, including the 13th overall selection in the 2026 draft. This is a full-on rebuild package. For Miami, this is a win-now power move. You pair Giannis with Bam Adebayo, and suddenly the Heat jump straight into title contender territory. That defense, that physicality, that transition game, it changes everything in the Eastern Conference. But
Let's talk about why this a big move is significant. Giannis is not just another all-star. He's widely considered one of the best top basketball players in basketball and has been the face of the Bucks for more than a decade. His ability to dominate both ends on the floor makes him a game changer for any franchise. Now image him alongside Bam Adebayo. That defense combination could cause major problems for the rest of the NBA. The Heat have built a reputation for maximizing talent, playing tough defense, and making deep playoff runs. Adding guidance to the immediately raises expectations. The question now becomes simple. Can Miami turn this blockbuster trade into another championship banner? Let's hear what the people are saying or what people say.
Miami had to do this. They gave up both an incredible amount, but also an amount that if I'm a Milwaukee fan, I'm like, wait, what did we get? I'll tell you what's left for Miami now. Basically, Giannis, Bam, Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, Bobby Portis, they got in the trade as well. And then Norm Powell, if they can re-sign him as a free agent. And then minimum free agents, and that's their team.
Is Giannis on a better team now than he was yesterday? I don't think so.
I would say Bam's a better teammate. Maybe the front office is a little more motivated, but I don't think this team's a title contender. Do you, Verrier?
No, but they're definitely in the mix. And I do like how they contrast some of the other teams that have ascended in the East here. At the very least, the Miami Heat have an identity from day one, which is they're going to be like pretty physical and pretty defensive minded. I think Bam, Giannis, Andrew Wiggins is like the core, and Davion Mitchell is really the core of the type of like grounded out defensive team that I think fits Miami's identity for like years on end at this point, but also maybe something that would be a contrast to a lot of these teams that are counting on like high octane offenses.
Well, don't ask for any shooting, CR.
This is going to test two of Miami's kind of like big myths of self-belief that they have, which is A, we're an attractive destination for top tier talent to come.
Not untrue.
And B, we trust our development so much that we can turn coal into diamonds wherever we look. And they're really going to have to dig now because they need to find 4 more guys. Like this might be a playoff team in the East, but this is not a title team.
Considering Giannis's like overall talent, even though we've known this to be the package for quite some time, it does feel a bit underwhelming. I know the other trade was basically Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks,
which felt more underwhelming.
Yeah, so this is the better of the two. But like, yeah, I know Giannis has been unhealthy for the last couple seasons, but like he still is like a top 3-4 player in the world, and you know it's gonna feel like filler in a lot of cases. Like, how many of those people do you believe to be an all-star one day that they just got?
I think it's just about having the young talent on the young contracts and then the ability to have those picks.
No, I think they did good, all things considering. It's just, you know, you usually see one of the top guys of all time get traded. It's like, oh, they got 7 first-rounders
I feel
and a
that's
young
kind of
player.
how I felt when they were talking about the Celtics, because it's like, as much as I like Jaylen Brown, and I think he's really good, it felt like Jaylen Brown and 2 picks was a little underwhelming, considering that you are a small market. And I read that was some of the concern. You know, you get a Jaylen Brown back who is a star in himself, and he's obviously a really great talent. But then you have the fear of him sitting in Milwaukee with not that much of a plan and kind of getting antsy, and then now he wants out. Yeah.
Holy shit, it is actually happening. Giannis is headed to Miami. Miami finally gets their guy. This saga took forever to resolve, but now it is official. Bam Adebayo and Giannis, the new dynamic duo in South Beach. Here are the full trade details. Miami getting Giannis alongside Bobby Portis, but having to give up a lot. Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparas Yakachonis, 3 first-round picks, including the first-round pick in this year's draft. This, according to Shams, the first-round picks that they're sending: an unprotected 2031 first, an unprotected 2033 first, and the number 13 pick in this year's draft, along with a pick swap in 2030. Needless to say, that is a whole lot for Giannis. And if you're going to make this move, if you're Pat Riley, you better be freaking sure that this is going to be a contending duo. I personally am not so sure that it will be. This has basically been the Pat Riley mantra though forever. Go and get star players. And he couldn't do it for a while. He finally does it again, and Giannis joining other elite Miami pickups like LeBron, Shaq, Chris Bosh, Alonzo Mourning, and Jimmy Butler. If you're like me though, you're wondering, what is Miami going to look like next season? This is their projected starting 5. Davion Mitchell, Norm Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. Not a lot of floor spacing next to Giannis, something that the Bucks really prioritized. And what about Miami's bench? What is their bench going to look like? Because right now, they got Bobby Portis. Miami will also have Nikola Jovic off their bench. And also, let's not forget about Pelle Larsson, who started so many games for them this year. I don't know about this team's depth, but man, it is going to be so hard to stop a front court of Giannis and Bam. On the offensive glass, they should be a nightmare. On the defensive end of the floor, they should also be a nightmare. But I still don't know if this team is the best team in the East to me. And what about Milwaukee? First of all, they lose a legend, a guy who undoubtedly will have his name and number in the rafters as soon as he retires. Milwaukee's going to be that bad, though, next year. Tyler Hero's going to have something to prove. They get Khalil Ware. They get Jaime Jaquez Jr. They also still have Ryan Rollins, AJ Green. They have some pieces. They're not going to be great. I also wonder if this signifies with them getting Khalil Ware if they would entertain trading Miles Turner. Everybody's obviously going to point out what this means from Miami's perspective, but I think the Bucks are going to be quite frisky next year with this trade package alongside the new head coach Taylor Jenkins, who did a great job in Memphis. They might be a pesky play-in type of team still, even without Giannis. Now that the saga is over, though, we can finally breathe, but we also might have a new saga starting. Brown just had an MVP caliber season. Then he was floated in trade rumors for Giannis. The Celtics offered Brown 2 first-round picks and more for Giannis. I feel like a Jaylen Brown trade request is coming up next. Stay tuned. The summer just got started.
So
No, this cannot be real. Absolutely fucking no. One of the greatest Bucks of all time, Giannis Antetokounmpo, is going to the Miami Heat for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, another guy, and 3 first-round picks. What the fuck just happened? An absolute blockbuster. Definitely one of the craziest trades that's going to happen this offseason. If not, that's happened in years. We have finally got a massive trade. I really thought this was the truth, though. I thought Giannis was coming to the Celtics. I was praying for it. With this team, he would have been lethal. But on the Heat without Tyler Hero? Bro, this team's going to be ass. Like, Bam and Giannis are a nice duo. Don't get me wrong. But what the fuck? They're not championship contenders. They're going to be a solid team, maybe 6-5 seed. But they are not championship contenders. Giannis belonged on the Boston Celtics. But unfortunately, it's not happening. Giannis is going to the Miami Heat, and we will see what happens.
Giannis finally got traded, and the Miami Heat sent every single possible young player that they had that was somewhat promising to Milwaukee. Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparis, 3 first-round picks. And I love when Milwaukee gets these picks, 2031, 2033, both unprotected firsts. In 2030, they have an option to swap picks. So now the Bucks have the 10th overall pick, the 13th overall pick in this year's draft, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparis, Khalil Ware. It's a hell of a haul. What Milwaukee got for Giannis from Miami was much more than what the Boston Celtics were willing to give up. They were willing to give up Jaylen Brown and 2 firsts. That's it. Now that Giannis is in Miami, we have to ask the question, is this team even good enough to compete for a championship? And I don't think so. If they re-sign the free agents Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins, their starting 5 will be Davion Mitchell, Powell, Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam Adebayo. This is an upgrade over what they had, but this doesn't make them championship contenders in my opinion. And the only competent bench player that you trust is Bobby Portis and maybe Pelle Larsson. This is probably the first of many moves that Miami is about to make. They finally went all in. They finally made this major move. If Giannis went to the Boston Celtics, I thought that he would have been on a team that had a better chance to win a championship. But if you're Milwaukee, you can't pass up on this offer. This is a massive haul.
This is a play-in team. Very obvious, bad fit together. This is going to go down as the worst trade of all time.
What the fuck are we even saying?
All of a sudden, people are acting like the Miami Heat were gonna do something before this trade happened. The motherfuckers that could not get out of the play-in, the ones that were stuck in purgatory, God forbid, they take a risk. And finally, they got their guy. They got Giannis. They gave up a lot. But that lot was never gonna do shit.
Look at this lineup and try not to throw up. You think them motherfuckers are doing anything in Milwaukee?
These are solid young players, and the 3 first-round picks are really good. This is a win for the Bucks, but stop acting like it's not a win for the Miami Heat.
Did y'all motherfuckers forget? I got people comparing this dude to fucking Carmelo Anthony.
Giannis is 2 times the player that he was. Get your fucking brain checked. The depth of the Miami Heat is not great, though, and Norman Powell, he might be gone. But dog, that's still fucking Giannis. The free agency is nowhere near over. The Miami Heat can still sign players to their bench. I'm sure some bench players or people out there are going to sign with Miami just because of freaking Giannis and Bam. I don't know about the offense. I don't know about the fit. But regardless, this is a monster defensive team. And as of right now, they still have Bobby Portis, Pelle Larsson, and Nikola Jovic off the bench. And if you're laughing at those names, you do not know ball. The Knicks still run the East, no question. I would say a healthy Pacers is above Miami. Maybe I'll lean the Celtics. I think they're getting rid of Jaylen Brown, though. But 4th or 5th best in the East, I agree. But that's just with the team right now. They can still make changes. As far as I'm concerned, this is a win-win trade.
After years of Pat Riley pump fakes, trading for Kevin Durant, trading for Damian Lillard, and whatever other superstar that could be photoshopped in a Heat jersey, Pat Riley has traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think the first thing here is pretty clear that Miami just had the best package available. I mean, all of those Pat Riley pump fake trades involved Tyler Hero or some version of Tyler Hero in the past, right? And I think the Bucks got a very good haul out of this in terms of Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Yakachonis, and 3 first-round picks, including number 13 for a loaded draft class. Now, the first thing is that you pair him with Bam Adebayo, which makes for one of the more terrifying front courts in the league. I think my main question is, how do you fill out the rest of the roster? I mean, you had Tyler Hero, Ware, and Jaquez were very cool Heat players. And not only that, Norman Powell, your all-star this year, was a free agent. So I'm really going to be interested to see how they fill out the rest of the roster, but they did the big one. Kudos to them.
Brown's gone. He's gone.
I am stunned. The reporting has been so adamant on 2 things. One, that the Celtics have put Jaylen Brown in the offer for Giannis. Straight up, 1-to-1. That surprises me because I think it's such a mistake. And 2, that Giannis would sign an extension here. And that's part of the deal. He signs an extension with the Celtics, which is massive money for a ticking time bomb, age and injury.
And I think the Celtics have decided one of 2 things. Either internally, Brown and Tatum aren't tenable. And I don't necessarily think it's that, because I think Tatum generally is agreeable and will find a way to get along with just about anybody. Or the Celtics have decided they can't win together and that they're not good enough unless they have some sort of big man complimenting one of them.
Now that pretty much the entire NBA community is reporting it, I think they've lost their cover. So how would Jaylen Brown at this stage, Mass, come back?
Yeah.
I can't believe the Celtics would do this. I really can't. Stunning! I can't believe you do this. It's not like Brown and Tatum play well together either. They've been a good fit on the roster, but on the floor, they don't play off each other. That's the backdrop to what I'm about to say. I've never seen Giannis play well with anyone.
It's all embargoed. It's a grander conspiracy theory,
for the
Jaylen
draft
Brown.
Night? For draft night?
Yeah, they're just going to wait until 8:30 on draft night because it's already predetermined to see Jaylen Brown.
That part I do believe.
Okay, maybe. And this is why Shams knew he could take last week off, because
it's in the bag. We'll wait till the last minute.
You know, listen, this is the the NBA.
Oh, this theory I like.
And we're just going to choreograph it for draft week. And so, Shams, there's nothing's going to happen. You can show up Monday morning and start dropping some bombs.
Love it.
And I can't believe the Celtics are going to do it.
This sucks.
As expected, social media exploded after news broke. Some fans are calling Miami the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. Others believe Milwaukee made the best decision possible by securing young players and future draft picks. The Heat fans are celebrating for what they see as the arrival of a franchise-changing superstar. Meanwhile, the Bucks fans are expressing mixed emotions. Many understand the business side move, but it's never easy to watch a franchise legend leave town. Some NBA observers have compared this trade to other league shifting moves, and that could change the championship picture overnight. One thing is clear, Everybody has opinion. Everybody's talking about Giannis. Right. The spotlight now shifts to Miami. Can Giannis and Bam lead the Heat back to the NBA Finals? Or will this supporting cast be strong enough to compete with the league's elite teams? And for Milwaukee, can this collection of young talent draft picks help launch the next chapter of Bucks basketball? Those questions won't be answered overnight. But one thing is certain, the NBA just got a little bit more interesting. That's our look at the Blockbuster trade sending Giannis to the Miami Heat. Will this move bring another championship to South Beach, or will Milwaukee ultimately win the trade in the long run? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or turn on notifications so you won't miss an episode of Viral on Connect TV. I'm your host, Kendrick Dix, saying we'll see you next time for another story that's making headlines around the world. Until then, stay connected and stay viral.